Hi, and welcome to Amoeba Savant. I've been trying to come up with stories that I can read without permission, and of course, mine are the best bet. I'm an author of speech therapy stories made for speech pathologists and anybody learning to articulate sounds. This one in particular, The Six Silly Sisters, is the first in a growing series of books for students learning the S sound. This is very short, and I turned it into a little coloring book so that speech pathologists can open, make a copy, give it to their students, and have them say their sounds. So I'll just read the introduction. According to Pool's norms, the S sound should be mastered by the age of 7. Six Silly Sisters was written specifically for students learning the S sound in all positions of words at reading level. This story can be enjoyed in individual and group speech therapy sessions, as well as for modeling, screening, or as an aid for phonics learning in class or at home for homework or vacation practice. The story itself is very simple, so the reader isn't distracted by having to sound out the words. The story is repetitive with bombardment in mind to give the student multiple iterations for practice. Each S sound is underlined, as is every Z sound, since Z is similar to S in articulation, but differs in voicing. Z is voiced, whereas S is not. That's what it looks like inside. See, little crab. Six Silly Sisters, a simple summer story stuffed with lots of the S sound in all positions of words. Written and illustrated by Maylene Jones. This book is dedicated with love to Yash, Basha, Helenka, Ignash, Constante, Elżbieta, Łucja, Aniela, Titus, Róża, Melania, and Wanda. Okay, there's the first picture. Once upon a time, there were six silly sisters who lived in a smelly sock. They spent their time doing lots of things, but mostly telling silly jokes. The oldest sister's name was Sandra, but she liked to be called Sandy. The second sister's name was Sarah. She was super smart. The third was Sylvia, who liked to skate. The fourth was Susan, who loved to dance. The fifth sister was named Samantha, but she liked to be called Sammy. The youngest little sister, and also the silliest, was sweet little Sally. Sandy was just past 27 years old. Sarah was 26. Sylvia was 17. Susan was 16. Sammy was 7. And sweet little Sally was almost 6 years old. Are you noticing all the S's? One sticky hot summer day, after being stuck in their stinky sock house, the six sisters decided to visit the seashore to see what treasures they could see. Soon Sandy saw a sandy crab. Sarah saw a fish with silver scales shimmering in the sunshine. Sylvia saw a single sand dollar nestled in the wet sand. Susan saw a spiky sea star. Sammy said she saw a slippery seal racing through the water. Sally spied a zebrafish with black and white stripes swimming by. The six sisters slurped up some juice, scarfed some sandwiches, and swallowed crispy snacks. Then Sandy sat beside the shore and started shoveling glistening sand into her trusty bucket so she could build a sandcastle. Sarah liked to sift the sand in search of shiny seashells which she could use to make necklaces for her sisters. Sylvia applied sunscreen on her sun-kissed nose, knees, elbows, and toes. Susan's sandals stayed beside the towels as she swam and splashed in the salty surf. Sammy was stoked to surf on her sweet, new waxy surfboard. Sally stayed near Susan, who was holding Sylvia's sand dollar while she hopped over the waves. Suddenly, a sand crab shimmied onto Sally's sandy foot. Some might yell and scream in fright, but instead, Sally scooped up the sand crab with Sylvia's sand dollar and threw it into the waves, saving it from the beaky sandpipers which scooted across the shore with their skinny legs, sneaking delicious sand crab bites. The sand crab said, "Thanks." But, like the setting sun at the western horizon, his tiny voice seemed to disappear in silence among the roar of the vast and shiny sea. Soon, Sandy, Sarah, Sylvia, Susan, Sammy, and Sally decided it was time to go home to their stinky sock house. So, the sisters sang a seaworthy shanty, singing like sisterly sirens with their sunny voices. They sang of sandy crabs, silver fish, sunshine, sand dollars, spiky sea stars, slippery seals, zebrafish, and swimming. They sang of sand castles, sifting sand, shiny seashells, and sunscreen on sun-kissed noses, elbows, knees, and toes. They sang of splashing, surfing waves, and saving sand crabs from beaky sandpipers. Into the sparkling ocean, the sister sirens shouted, "Thanks to you for our sandy, salty, and shimmery summer fun." But, like the setting sun at the western horizon, the six sisters' voices seemed to disappear in silence among the roar of the vast and shiny sea. The end. Yay, we got through the first book for this channel. Thank you for being patient with me. I have several other books that I can read. This is the only one that's printed. If you're interested in getting this book, it is print on demand on Amazon. I will put the link in the description. You can also get it just to download and print yourself on specklespeech.com, or if you're on Teachers Pay Teachers, you can get it there as well. Thank you, and make sure to subscribe.